Hi everybody, Pat Palmer, the computer guy here from Hampton, Iowa. Good Monday evening to you. I'm on an hour later tonight, and it's, what a day. Anyway, it was just late getting home, and that sort of thing happens. Anyway, it was a long day, a long week actually. Last week was just a busy week. Again, like I said, took Luke to the ball game and his friend last Sunday. Last Sunday, and then he was the guest PA announcer for the bottom of the fifth. Put that video together and put that out. He made the Waseca paper, which was kind of cool. The Waseca County News, I guess it's called. Anyway, that was a pretty neat deal for him. He got to talk to the newspaper guy, and they quoted him and things like that. So that was pretty exciting for Luke, being able to broadcast over the PA system as 37,291 was the paid attendance that day, plus all the freebies folks that were there. Also on Thursday, I went to Minneapolis, downtown Minneapolis, at the ARIA, and went to a Facebook Boost Your Business class. Now this wasn't just a social media get together. This was an official Facebook get together. They hired Mari Smith from San Diego, California, to come out and help to MC and run the show. And Mari had a panel of 4 folks from the Twin Cities that had various businesses. Of course, they didn't ask me, but they should have. I'll be on the list next year, I'm sure. Anyway, talked about their role with social media. And one takeaway I had from that was, I'm kind of in reverse order here. We're talking about last week, this week, last week, and about, we're going to start social this week, then we're going to talk about tech, and then we'll get into hoaxes. But anyway, Mari talked about, let's say that you have a business, but you have a core group of people that are surrounding your business that you take a lot of advice from. Let's say you're an auctioneer, like, let's say Fox Auctioneering, for example. And you have several close friends who are auctioneers, your clerks, run the food stands, things like that you may want to convey ideas back and forth with in a group setting that you don't want the rest of your Facebook business page to see. So let's say we have Frank Fox in there, and we have various other people maybe in the auction profession that kind of work with Frank, maybe a backup, maybe a couple other of the ringmasters and things like that would help his business, but not the general public to see that. So they can discuss upcoming auctions. They can discuss maybe they need help getting some hay together. Maybe they need help with this, that, various things that just as a group themselves, they talk to each other with about that. So Frank, I know you're watching, so I had to use you as an example, of course. If I had Johnson Auctioneering, I would have, of course, used Johnson. So anyway, that's kind of where we're at on that. But anyway, that's why creating a group like that could help you. So, for example, maybe if you had a radio station, and of course the radio station has a public page, but you have maybe some record people, or you have some news people that help you gather news, things like that. Create a group of those people, and they could have some of that. So anyway, a group of peers, you might say, helps that business grow, and the general public doesn't have to see that because it's a private group, a secret group they call them, secret, very secret. And creating groups, we'll stay in the auction theme here just because Frank's on board today. I'm sure that Frank, and you can let me know one way or the other, that he may be a member of a various like auctioneering group. Maybe they have a Midwest Auctioneers group that they exchange information back and forth on upcoming sales or upcoming events or things to stay away from, or various, you get a good and a bad buyer, a good and a bad feeling. You can communicate those. I'm a member of several tech pages that do the same thing. Right now, a big thing right now that's rolling out for us techs is Dollar General is putting in new pin pads where you swipe your card and you do the pin pad thing. anyway, we're discussing a lot about those. We compare pricing and compare what parts of the country are getting these pin pads out and something like that. So that's what we're doing with groups. I strongly suggest it for a business that has a board of directors or a board of peers together that want to do just a little bit more than broadcast what they're doing as far as their page. They want to have a group of peers behind them. So that's what these 4 business folks did up in Minneapolis. That they have one makes clothing. They're a clothing designer. And they have a secret group of people who are their test market. They're always trying different clothes on, seeing if different patterns wear right, seeing if whatever they put out is hip. And so that's what they're doing with that. So anyway, a little bit, I want to clear up that social media part of it first because it's very important. On my Facebook page at Pat the Computer Guy, I did interview Mari Smith, and that interview is on there, and it's also on my YouTube page, YouTube. Yanks Pat, YANKZPAT, the same handle as my Periscope. And then what I do is with my Periscopes, I put them on Wednesday morning, 7:30. Let's see. Let's talk a little bit about this past week. What I did was ran a bridge, a wireless bridge between 2 points. It's about the size of a football field long. Had my buddy Chad from Rockwell help me out on that. He was a great help because Chad, run to the house, see how the signal is. Chad runs the house and sees how the signal is, and Pat can stay back at the kennel to see how the signal is on my side. So that's what I had Chad there for, and he was really a great help, and I appreciate that. So what we needed to do was needed to bridge 2 points of their wireless internet. It was about a football field long, and then once we got the signal to the boarding place where she boards pets, for folks in Iowa Falls down by Awassa. And so Donna needed, Donna's dog grooming, Donna needed a way to be able to watch the DVR. She's got a series of cameras down there just to make sure everything's okay. And if a dog barks, she wanted to be able to look and see it wasn't an animal, it wasn't a trespasser, it wasn't anything weird, it was just a dog barking. So what we did was I did get her cameras hooked up for remote viewing so she can view them on her cell phone. So that's a key for them as they do some traveling a little bit, or they're gone during the day or something like that. They want to be able to check and make sure everything's hunky-dory on the dog situation. Even in the middle of the night, they hear barking. She or he, Donna, her husband, can go right to the phone and pull that up and see what's going on out at the dog grooming place. So it's about a football field away from their home. So they do hear some barking, but when it really gets bad, they know something's up, and instead of just running out there, they can look on the camera first. So that's what we did this week. That was kind of an adventure for various reasons, but the bottom line was we got it working for them. Also on tech, of course, a lot of folks have already downloaded Windows 10 against my recommendation that said, you don't need to be first, you don't need to be second, you don't need to be third on that, you don't want to be last. It's free for a year. You've got 51 weeks left of it yet. I'm going to do it eventually on my laptop. It's a Windows 8 laptop. That was an old Windows Vista laptop that I migrated to 8 because I had a $35 license for some thing. And so anyway, I upgraded that to Windows 8, and I thought, well, I just put Windows 10 on that. Both the computer down here and the computer upstairs that I use in my office upstairs are both Windows 7. Those are good through April of 2020. So it's not like I've got to scramble to find something to replace it. It's good till 2020, and I'm just happy with that. Talked to a customer today, he says, I'll be dead by then. I don't want to upgrade. Good answer. Anyway, one of the things that came across as people were upgrading to Windows 10 was a hoax. I run into this the other day. I clicked Get It Now for the Windows 10. I get it now, and then pop-up page comes up with some bogus 800 number, and people are calling these. I don't understand why when you see an 800 number pop up on your computer with some warning that people call those. Don't call those. Call me. That's what you need to do is call me, the computer guy. Just Google me, and you'll find my number. But it's they're not there to help you. They're there to take your money. And people let them in their computer, and the next thing you know, they say, we found all these viruses, and then they open up the checkbook. Usually not. But by that time, they've scared the person enough to believe their line of crap that they've thrown out there for the customer, that they're really concerned. Then most of the time they do call me. So, but they get around to it. But when you get one of those calls, when you see one of those numbers, either hang up on them or don't call them, because it's just nothing but a hoax. They claim they're Microsoft. They claim they're this, they're that, they're the thing, but they're not. Excuse me. They're not in this country, and they're not affiliated with Microsoft. So your money goes overseas somewhere. They could sell your credit card information. They could sell your bank account information, and you won't have one darn thing to say about it because you agreed to it. And one of these next couple times when I get my Random Access show started, I'm going to be talking to several bankers, several bank presidents about this, several people that deal with credit card fraud. I noticed that a couple people, they record those calls, and they record you saying, yes, I agree to this. Yes, I agree to have you come in, and I don't know what you're going to do in there, but I agree to it, and I'm going to exchange that service for $300. And then maybe you won't steal my information, and maybe you will, and it's just too much of a maybe for me to let somebody just randomly come in your computer and do all that sort of thing. So be very, very careful on that. So again, this week we talked a little bit about Windows 10. We talked about the social media event that I was at the other day with Mari Smith, and she just is just class all the way around. A tall lady. She was as tall as I was. I didn't really see that she had heels on. So anyway, she was 6'2", 6'3", anyway, maybe 6'2" without the heels. But anyway, very tall gal, very, very polite lady, and it was great talking to her. I kind of surprised her on the video part of it, but as you see on the Facebook, my Facebook wall, turned out okay. So she gave some advice for first-time people that you just need to get out there and do it. There's just this planning, and I'm guilty of it too. I've put off the randomaccess.bz page for a long time. I'm just starting to get that rolling with some help from a couple of web developers out there who are going to help me out. So that's what we have for that. And then, of course, the hoaxes. Don't call the pop-up numbers. That's nothing but trouble. Anyway, you can find me at www.thecomputerguy.bz. Why don't you get there and sign up for my newsletter? It comes out every Monday morning, called The Monday Morning Memo from The Computer Guy. You don't want to miss that. We give tips and tricks and meeting dates and some social media stuff, and maybe a little personal stuff as well too, as I did have the video from Luke with the baseball game on this week too. So make sure you check that out, www.thecomputerguy.bz, and we will see you next Monday night. I promise 8 o'clock instead of 9 o'clock. But anyway, you can't turn down work when it comes your way, and I was on the road, and anyway, a customer come out today and says, see my dragon? And so he had this little dragon lizard in his hand. I said, "Boo." So I didn't want to touch the dragon lizard thing, and nah. I pet their cat. That's what I did. So anyway, customer in Sheffield tonight had a dragon lizard, and that was probably cool for them, but that's just cool for them. Anyway, next week, 8 o'clock, we'll see you here on Pat's on Periscope.